And hello there. So today's film is called The Greatest Health Secret. So here's my question for you. What is the most important action to take to become healthier and to maintain good health? Is it food? A lot of people think that food would be the most important thing. And although I really am a big style advocate for good food, it's not the most important thing, not by any manner of means. In fact, we only get, allegedly, we get only 10% of our energy from food. Bit of a startling concept, isn't it? Only 10%? Well, if that's the case, where's the other 90% coming from is the first question I'd ask. So then the next question is it water? No, it's not water either. So there's something you can do which is far more important than food and water to create and maintain your health. So here's the third one. Is it what we breathe? Is it the air? And the answer is a resounding yes. So that's the answer to that question I asked earlier. Approximately 90% of your energy comes from air and sunlight. Those two together combined are responsible for 90% of your energy. That's really quite an important consideration. And if you are one of these people that lives not so near to the sun, then it means that explains why there's that overwhelming desire when the sun is shining to get out and be in it, if it's a rarity in your part of the world. So let's look at air. Why is air so very important? Well, it's because inside your hundreds of billions of cells that you have in your body, and inside also, well, let's just think about hundreds of billions of cells. When you have hundreds of billions of cells, you've got little organelles, they're called, and they're called mitochondria. And it is widely believed that mitochondria are actually specially adapted microbes. So these microbes used to live independently and freely, but they actually cut a good deal with the cells of the body and decided to become permanent inhabitants. So these mitochondria require oxygen for releasing energy, and that's called respiration. So if you want energy, it's so important to get good air and lots of it. And we are so immaculate design because we've got these things called lungs, and lungs how we get the air in. And it's run on two possible systems. You've got the automatic system, which they call autonomic. That means even if you don't think about it, you keep breathing. And there's the other option. And the other option is to take control of your breathing. And what a great gift this is for us. So here's the thing. What happens to a person who doesn't breathe enough, who doesn't get enough oxygen in to the body and enough waste product carbon dioxide out of the body? What happens to them? Well, the answer is all around you, because insufficient respiration, insufficient oxygen, not enough breathing leads to a depleted immune system. It leads to an accelerated aging program, and it leads to cognitive decline, less brain function, which eventually leads to things like dementia and Alzheimer's. And all these things I've mentioned are as a consequence of not getting enough oxygen into the body. So now here's a really startling and surprising thing. If you're watching this film for one reason, it's for the next sentence. The parts of the lungs which are responsible for 80% of the gas exchange are right at the base of the lungs, where it touches on the diaphragm, all the way at the bottom. So the vast majority of people these days, they breathe shallow. They do shallow breathing from the top of the chest. And that is really bad news, because that has very limited ability to do gas exchange. So the way we get a good gas exchange, oxygen in, carbon dioxide out, is to do what I'm going to do now. So I like to breathe out through the mouth through the pursed lips like I've got a straw in my mouth. Let's go something like this. Breathing in through the nose. And then breathing out through the pursed lips. Now, every time you do that, you're getting a huge influx of oxygen and you're getting a really big detox of the carbon dioxide leaving the system. This is such an important thing to do. And if you want to be really keenly aware of the truth of what I'm saying, I invite you to spend a little bit of time in a care home. There are more and more of them, and more people's relatives end up in these places. So it's becoming progressively more difficult to avoid. At some point, you'll find yourself in one, in some capacity or other, hopefully as a visitor. And when you do so, pay very close attention to the residents and to their breathing. And you will very rapidly realise that the residents of care homes are scarcely breathing at all. And that's the reason why there's generally a one-way outcome from someone being admitted to a care home. Pretty horrific, isn't it? Yes, it certainly is. So, by doing deep breathing, by doing good breath work, you can combine that with exercise and body work. That makes it very powerful. You can combine it with meditation, which is what my 21-day meditation series is about. And you can also combine it with making sound, which is of course also what my 21-day series is about. And doing these things is going to make such a huge difference to your state of health. And you will find that most human beings, particularly in repressed countries like the UK, making sounds is frowned upon. There's a kind of an automatic discrimination against it. It's like, well, we don't do that. It's a bit impolite to make sounds, isn't it? You know, unless we get incredibly drunk, and then we might make all sorts of loud sounds. But the rest of the time, it's also as a quiet, isn't it? So I'm aware that I'm really challenging a taboo here. And if you want to explore my 21-day sounds meditation experience, you will find out for yourself just how powerful making sounds is. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go straight into a little bit of this, and I'm going to take you through the vowels. So we've already done the breathing. I'm going to do the breathing for you one more time. Exhale fully and deeply through the mouth, through the pursed lips, like you've got a straw in your mouth. Brief pause. Full inhalation through the nose, preferably if you can. If your nose doesn't operate, then through the mouth. And then hold a little bit. So let's do it like this. So when you do another deep breath like that, I'll just explain. We're going to make a vowel sound. It's the first of the vowel sounds, and it is simply E. That's all there is to it. It's simply E. Okay, so off we go. And if you pay close attention, you'll feel your sinuses feel it having a really good cleanse. And indeed, this is cleanse many of your energy channels in your body. Just doing that just 3 times makes a big difference. And to answer the question that you may well ask is, how did you make sounds for such a long time? Well, there's only one answer. It's practice. Just keep on doing it. Breathing deeply, doing for more than 3 cycles, 6 cycles, 9 cycles, 12 cycles. Do it often, the deep breathing. And then when you make the sounds, let rip and just discover how powerful your sounds are, which means therefore how powerful you are becoming. It's all your choice. Thank you very much.